Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Wednesday, December 12th, 2018. Some top headlines this morning. Michael Cohen sentenced to 3 years in prison, which is 36 months, and his sentence will begin on March 6th, 3-6. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this vote of no confidence in Theresa May, and we're going to talk about these two earthquakes that shook Tennessee this morning. Notice in the top headline, sentencing underway for Trump's former fixer. And they put those parentheses around fixer. They put an emphasis on the word. Again, anytime the media emphasizes a word in a headline, it's because there's numbers there that matter. So today's date has this 62 numerology. It also has this 35 numerology. Today's December 12th, 2018. And look at the Gematria fixer, 62, 35. Not by accident. It's this way every single day. You'll be able to prove this 1,000 more times before today's over. And tomorrow and the day after. It's this way every single day. I've been showing this for 5 years straight. So, from Michael Cohen's birthday, he's 52 years old right now, from his birthday, August 25th, to today is 110 days. And today he had to face sentencing 110. Been showing every step of the way with Michael Cohen. It's news by the numbers. It's the same process. You look at the date the event happens. You measure from the birthday. It's the same thing every single day. And from today to the day from when he first pleaded guilty to today is 113 days later. 113 days later. If you know my work, you know about 113. It's the signature of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry has their headquarters in Washington, D.C. Scottish equals 113. Washington, D.C., named after the Scottish Rite Freemason George Washington. Anyhow, notice he's 52 years old again, Michael Cohen, 52. Look at the gematria of sentencing in light of president. Of course, this is the president's fixer, right? So this story is intertwined with Trump. Yesterday, there were headlines about how Trump could go to prison once he's out of the White House. Anyway, just look at the overlap. 3 of our 4 base ciphers, sentencing and president, all the same. And Michael Cohen's 52 years old right now. Again, these 4 ciphers, call these the base ciphers. The dark green's the alphabetic order. A's 1, B's 2, C's 3, up to Z is 26. The next cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So each letter that's more than a single digit number. So A still 1, B still 2, C still 3. When you get to the J, the 10th letter, you take the numerology at 10. So 1 plus 0 is 1. So J's 1. When you get to Z, the 26th letter, you take the numerology at 26. So 2 plus 6 becomes 8 in this cipher. And then these 2 ciphers are the reverse alphabetic order. This neon green one is Z is 1, back to A is 26. And this last cipher is the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So anyway, Cohen gets 3 years. Probably won't ever do a day in prison. This whole thing is a puppet theater show. The federal government is a giant puppet show every single day. Everything they do is acted out by this code. But the thing about 3 as a word is it has this gematria of 56, like Washington, D.C. Story is focused on D.C., obviously. In the base ciphers, 3 also sums to 25, like Trump. There's been multiple stories about how Trump could be the first president removed with the 25th Amendment. If that happens, don't forget this. 3 also has gematria 29, like Trump. This story is mostly focused on Trump. So he gets 3 years, which again is 36 months, and it begins on March 6th, 3-6. Remember what's special about 36? 666 is the 36th triangular number, Washington, D.C., the home of the 666-foot tall Washington Monument, 555 feet above ground, 111 below. 666 is the number of the beast. Beast. The word beast equals 47. Notice the 47 coded into sentencing. and the word president. The letters DC with the reverse alphabetic order are 47. Governments 47. Authorities 47. Republicans 47. Democrats 47. White House is 47. Big number there in DC. That's why 666 is a big number in DC. Most likely the reason for this 36-month prison sentence beginning on March 6th riddle. From today to the start of the sentence is 84 days. 84 days, right? Masonry's 84. United States of America's 84. Jesuits also 84. Washington, D.C. used to be the Catholic colony controlled by the Jesuits. The Jesuits and the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry have a lot of overlap in the way they operate and their mottos. Two heads of the same beast. 84 is also the reflection of 48, and Freemason and Donald Trump, both 48. Freemason sums to 48 in Hebrew and in English. Notice that's also 12 weeks, and this sentencing comes on 12-12, right? 12-12. There's even a relationship with 12-12 and 666, like we were just talking about a moment ago. If you multiply 12 times 12, it's 144. The square root of 144 is 12. If you add up the first 144 decimal points of pi, it sums to 666. 666. And if you've read my book, there's a few other riddles with 666 and 144. But just another thought there on why they do 3 years and have the sentence begin on March 6th. Just days ago, Michael Cohen pled guilty 96 days after his birthday. He was his first guilty pleas came August 21st. Then 100 days later, his next guilty pleas. Congress was a big focus of this, misleading Congress. When he pled guilty November 29th, that was 96 days after his birthday. Michael Cohen's 96, so is Freemason. Again, this code of letters and numbers is Masonic. Cohen says he lied about Trump's knowledge of Moscow project. So he misled Congress. Again, that's why, these charges came 100 days after his birthday. And then 100 days after the first guilty pleas, and then 96 days after his birthday. See how nicely they line it all up? Everything perfectly planned. They use that word knowledge in the headline. 96 days after his birthday. Knowledge 96. And that was a date with 58 numerology, like how Donald Trump was the winner of the 58th U.S. presidential election, like how Donald Trump announced he was running from the 58-story Trump Tower. He had these meetings in that building, the 58-story Trump Tower building. But Freemasonry, Rosicrucian Secret Society, 58. Again and again, the coding all points in one direction. Scottish Rite, 78. Again, Scottish is 113. In today's prison sentence comes 113 days after the first guilty pleas. It's part of the Robert Mueller investigation. From Robert Mueller's birthday to these last headlines, November 29th, 114 days after his birthday, President of the United States, 114. Speaking of which, today is 113 days after the first guilty pleas. If you count the full span, it's also 114 days. See? Everything perfectly synced. By the way, his birthday, August 7th, we write it 8/7 in the U.S. Russia equals 87. He's at the head of the Russia investigation. Justice is also 87. And then just to go back to August 21st, when this ball really got rolling, Manafort found guilty on 8 counts. Where's the other ones here? Michael Cohen pleads guilty to 8 counts, 8 and 8. Since 2015, I've been talking about the riddles with Trump in 88 from the day he announced he was running for the presidency. Manafort, 88, Trump, 88, August 21st, the day this happened, 88, the Republican Party, 88. Trump endorsed by 88 generals. Bill Maher's made about 10 different jokes about 88 and Trump since 2015. Bill Maher, Catholic and Jewish. Think about Washington, D.C. Scottish Rite, the most Jewish branch of Freemasonry, used to be controlled by the Catholic colony. Who really runs the Catholic Church anyway? You ever ask that? A lot of people think it's the Catholics that run the world, but who really runs the Catholic Church? You got to know that one. It's not a mystery of what came first, the chicken or the egg. It's pretty clear who controls and created the Catholic Church from the beginning. You know, St. Ignatius of Loyola, who created the Jesuits, was Jewish. Anyway, Paul Manafort, Donald Trump, both 138, federal 138. Notice Michael in federal 51 and 138. When this happened to him earlier this year, it was just before his 52nd birthday. He was still 51. It was 4 days before turning 52. This news also came 68 days after Trump's birthday. Donald John Trump, Donald J. Trump, guilty 68. Should have put The Apprentice up here because The Apprentice is 68 too. So is Liar. Remember Trump's emergency alert at 2:18 in the afternoon. Remember that on October 3rd, 2:18, Trump 2:18 and Francis Bacon. This was 21/8, August 21st. Let's see what it is from the date that this ball really got rolling to the prison sentence. I want to see how many days that is. So it's if you don't count the span, it's 197 days. You know, that 8 and 8 thing on August 21st to the prison sentence is 197 days. That's the 45th prime number, like how Donald Trump's number 45. And Trump, he once gave what he called his victory speech, which was on Melania's birthday. What day is that? I think it's here, I'll just look it up. I think it's April 26th. Yeah, it is. Melania's birthday is April 26th. In 2016, before he was president, Trump gave what he called his victory speech on this same day, and he guaranteed that he would win the election and he would build the wall. He made 2 guarantees. I will defeat Hillary Clinton. I will build the wall. And here, I'll just show you this. April 26, 2016 to, I believe, 11/8/2016. There it is. It's a span of 197 days, which is the 45th prime number. He became the 45th president-elect on after this vote. If you don't count the full span and you go to November 9th, which is the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, which was also the date that he was announced as the winner in the early hours of November 9th. Remember, Mr. Wall, Berlin Wall, and the most pure cipher is 45. It's also 63. 2016 is the 63rd triangular number. If you've never seen my work on Donald Trump's Serta commercial from 2009, where he's talking to sheep number 9 about being born for the job, wearing the same suit and tie. He's talking to sheep 11 and 9, like the date November 9th. He says, looking good, number 9, looking good. If you add 1 through 9 together, it equals 45. See, 45 is the 9th triangular number, and 197 is the 45th prime. See? So anyway, same riddles again and again. This whole Cohen story points to Trump. Now we see why from August 21st to that date. It's got the riddle coming back to 45. So remember that date, March 6th, 2019. That'll also be a date with 48 numerology. 3 plus 6 plus 20 plus 19. We were just talking about 48, right? We were just talking about that. It's 84 days from today. 84, the reflection's 48. Freemason Donald Trump, 48. Wall is 48. Cleveland's 48, where he had his GOP convention by the numbers. All right, so let's switch gears here. Theresa May faces no confidence vote. This news coming the same day. What's today? It's got the 62 numerology. We started with how Michael Cohen had the fixer headlines. You know, fixer. And fixer equals 62 on this date. Well, Theresa May gets the no confidence vote on this day. And how old's Theresa May? She's 62. And from her birthday to today is how many days? It's her 73rd day of her age. Today's date also has 17 numerology. It's Masonry across the world. Freemasonry, modern Freemasonry was born in London, June 24th, 1717. A date with 47 numerology, like the 47 degrees on the Masonic compass. But look at it. Mason in our base cipher, 62-17-73. We got the 62 date. We got the 17 date. We got Theresa May's 73rd day of her age. This whole Brexit thing's been a Masonic ritual from day one, which I've covered. In the beginning, I showed how it was synced up with David Cameron and his resignation. Go measure from the day of Brexit. Here, I'm pretty sure it was June 23rd. Was it 2016? I'll just show you again. In case you're new here. Brexit vote date. I think it was June 23rd, 2016. David Cameron's birthday is October 9th. Here, I'll just show you real quick. David Cameron birthday, October 9th. Check this out. So from June 23rd, 2016 to October 9th, 2016, span of 109 days. And October 9th is 10-9, like 109, right? And remember, over there, it's Parliament that's behind these things. Parliament, 109. And David Cameron decided to resign, and then it gave way to Theresa May, TM, TM 33, like Margaret Thatcher 33, Cameron 33. Cameron's birthday in October 33. Isn't Theresa May's too? I remember a whole lot of these people being born in October when I was looking at this at Brexit. Everyone involved, like the London mayor, everybody. Everyone I was looking at, I was like, wow, they're all born in October, the only 33 month. Margaret Thatcher, the only other female MTTM. Because it's all a bunch of Masons, And you're supposed to be a man in Masonry, so it makes me wonder about these women. Are they even really women? This could be the clue. And what headline was right next to this? Pelosi questions Trump's manhood. I wonder about all these people, honestly. What's really going on? But this is how it is. Every step of Brexit's been by the numbers. Every step of everything in the news is by the numbers. It's not an exaggeration. If it's in the news, you can apply this code. You can see why it's being reported the day that it does. Let's come to the Tennessee earthquakes now. Tennessee earthquakes happen on this level every day, 4.4, 3.3. These are relatively small earthquakes, but they made the national news. They're one of the top stories this morning. And part of the reason why is because Tennessee doesn't get earthquakes for the most part. But what stands out about these numbers? I mean, for 5 years, I've been educating about earthquakes by the numbers and how often the number 44 is connected. Today leaves 19 days left in the year. Quake equals 19. Earthquake equals 44, like a 4.4. Military equals 44. There's the military technology HARP that has the capability to create earthquakes, as acknowledged by our own government, HARP 44. What about the 3.3 follow-up? Well, that's a lot like 33. Big number there with Masonry, secrecy order, federal, they're all 33. Tennessee's 137, the 33rd prime. And I actually saw a movie last night for the first time that I'd never seen before. It's called Conspiracy Theory. Released August 8th, 1997. I was aware this movie was out there, but I just never watched it. Notice 8 plus 8 plus 97, date with 113 numerology. In the film, he explains it's they who are responsible for all this. In the beginning, when he's talking about how George H.W. Bush is a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason, and it's not an accident. He's always talking about the New World Order. And he says they always do secret handshakes. He doesn't get into Gematria in the film, but they's 58, like Freemasonry, when spelled correctly, is 58, like secret societies, 58, like how Freemasonry came out of the Rosicrucian Order, 58, how all of their secrets are in Solomon's Temple, 58, how they do the tracing board thing, 3 levels to become a Master Mason. Anyway, big number there with Freemasonry, why Trump announced he was running for the 58th U.S. presidential election from the 58-story Trump Tower and hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray for Inauguration Day. And then Hillary put out a book called What Happened, about why she lost the election. Anyway, this film, he talks about a lot of things. Fluoride in the water, just in the opening moments. Just all the things going on. Masonry, Jesuits, Catholic Church, fluoride, earthquakes. The main thing that he's on in this film is how the government is using an energy weapon to create earthquakes to kill people. That's the biggest recurring theme in the movie. And he's expecting this big earthquake, and then it hits on the date he's expecting. And what's funny is, how many times have I called the data earthquakes? Said, look for an earthquake on this date, boom. And it's not, I mean, there's earthquakes every single day, but they're relatively big ones that make the news. Because again, they're so repetitive. But look at this film, the date it released, August 8th, 97. As I show again and again, I've done this with 1,000 movies. When a movie releases, it's always synced up with the star actor and it's connected to the title of the film. So this movie's called Conspiracy Theory. Mel Gibson's the star. His birthday is January 3rd. Now look, from his birthday to the release of that film was 218 days. And look at Conspiracy Theory, 218. And look at Conspiracy Theory also in the other base cipher, 88. Do you think that's a coincidence? It reminds me how earlier this year I was talking about Alex Jones getting banned from social media on the 218th day of the year, August 6th, the day leaving 147 days remaining. You know, he does Conspiracy Theory. This is the most perfect day of the year to do such a thing. The day leaving 147 days remaining, Conspiracy 147. And Facebook was the first to ban him. Then other social media platforms followed. Making the world open and connected, Facebook's motto with the Star of David on the inside. Again, Mark Zuckerberg has the same birthday as Israel. No coincidence, there's a Star of David on the inside. Making the world open and connected, 147, like Freemason, like Conspiracy, like Alexander Jones, as in Alex Jones. Genesis 47, Jacob, who becomes Israel, dies at 147. 47th, the 47th chapter of Genesis, 47th, 147. From Zuckerberg's birthday to the banning of Alex Jones was 84 days later. Mark Zuckerberg, 84. Zionism, 84. Masonry, 84. Again, Jesuits, 84. Show you that. Jesuit. And a lot of overlaps with the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite. Notice Scottish Rite is also 78. You know, Alex out of Austin. So anyway, cover this in greater detail. Alex Jones, born on the 42nd day of the year. Alex Jones, 42. InfoWars, 42. Austin, 42. Freemason, 42. Capital G, 42. It's in the middle of the Freemason logo. Zionism, 42. It's not hard to see. Oh, and by the way, to bring it back to Freemasonry, Facebook, 58, 158. Look at Freemasonry. 58, 158. It's not hard to see. So same numbers used again and again repetitively. That's what I'm trying to clue you into here. And again, everything from news to elections to earthquakes to rigged sports, it's all done by this code. You know, we talked about the Rob Gronkowski ritual. Why was he playing defense and what they're calling the Miami Miracle? Again, the whole thing is a mockery. Notice the emphasize got to make that tackle. 59, this play happened on December 9th, 2018, a date with 59 numerology. It's the Patriots' 59th season. Freemasonry sums to 59 in Hebrew and English. That phrase also sums to 112, like how this game was in week 14. If you don't follow my Patreon, we give out sports picks. I clue you into what's going to happen before it happens. I showed how all the teams that had a chance to fall to 11-2 would in week 14. They did. One of them was the Rams, who lost a former player on his 112th day of his age on the first game of week 14, Thursday Night Football. Supposedly died in a car crash. If you watch that movie, Conspiracy Theory, you watch this film, Conspiracy Theory, you really should go check it out. He has a small mailing list where he's educating people about this knowledge, and all of them get murdered, except for one subscriber who turns out to be the CIA. And some of them die in car crashes, but they all die within 24 hours of each other. You know. Anyway, things I've been talking about for a long time. So many deaths blamed on car crashes. They're not really from car crashes. That movie mocks our existence, puts all the truth in a Hollywood film. So people say, oh, you watch too many movies. But got to make that tackle. Look at the other emphasized headline. I did sucky. Yesterday, I had a caller call in and tell us about this headline, and it sounds like something a little child would say. A toddler. I did sucky. And honestly, you have to be at a cognitive functioning state of, I don't know, somewhere like around a 5 or 6 year old to not see that professional sports are rigged. I mean, they're just pathetically rigged. It's embarrassing. Again, it is the fluoride in the water and so many of the other chemical poisons that are in our food and everything else that keep the world at such a low functioning level to not see the obvious on so many things, from the demolition of the towers on 9/11 to how pathetic what we call professional sports are. I mean, the end of this play at the end of this game is just treating people like they're retarded, and there's no other way to put it. Retarded means stunted. That's what America is overwhelmingly. This play was a complete joke. And again, there was no reason for Rob Gronkowski to be on the field, who did a fake stumble and then ran at a snail's pace so this receiver could make it to the end zone. But I've already covered this. I just want to show you a few more things. I did sucky, 42, the big Freemason number, American football credited to the Freemason Walter Camp. I did sucky, 57, like Scottish Rite. Walter Camp was a Scottish Rite Freemason. 57 is also that number related to championships, like the Patriots won their last Super Bowl in their 57th season. It was a 69-yard touchdown play, largely thanks to Rob Gronkowski blowing it on the field. Rob Gronkowski, 69. For years, I've been saying everything about sports is scripted from the final score to the box score. And on the NFL football field, it's scripted to the hash mark. Prove it every single week. Who just saw the Alex Smith injury? Tribute to Joe Theismann 33 years earlier. Injured on the same hash mark with the same amount of passing attempts on the season. The game finishes with the same scores it did 33 years earlier. Plus the thing with J.J. Watt and Lawrence Taylor. See my video on it. The other kicker here was from Rob Gronkowski's 29th birthday to this play was 209 days later. Miami Dolphins, 209. Sucky, 29. Football, 29. He's 29 years old, 209 days after he gives it up so the Miami Dolphins can win in the script. They call this the Miami Miracle, which equals 61. Notice Miracle's 61 and 34. Before the play happened, the score was 33-28, 61 combined points. After Miami scored, their score went to 34, which it finished with. Now, who do they play next? They play the Vikings, who had the Minnesota Miracle, a 61-yard touchdown that shouldn't have fooled anyone. Guy purposefully blows. Guy ducks his head and tackles the air so that the receiver can win the game. I mean, and really the entire defense should have been backing to prevent. All they had to do was not give up, the entire field to lose the game. Just like the Patriots this week, it's just the same thing over and over. Again, treating people like they're retarded because they are. We've been purposefully made retarded. Here's all the ways we've been made retarded as a nation. We're chemically poisoned. That's one. We're made to be retarded in our mandatory state schools where they teach us a whole bunch of crap and give us nothing useful about the world we live in. Honestly, by the time you're out of first grade, you've probably learned all that's relevant. That's why most people are functioning at about a first grade level. After that, what do you learn? More complicated mathematics that you never use in your life, a whole bunch of history that never happened, reinforcement that your nation's the greatest nation ever. Essentially, your entire life's wasted in school after first grade. Once you learn how to read and add and subtract, you've probably got enough. The rest is just a waste of your time. Learning to sign your name on the paper and, circle ABC, respond to bells, be on time to the bell, wake up to your alarm, be groggy all day. That's what this whole nation is. Just programming you, training you for your future slave job, your future enslavement. Tolerate lies, believe lies, don't question authority. Well, who do they got in most classrooms? A complete moron? Complete morons who's in the classroom. Because who else is going to work for that crap salary? They don't want the best and brightest educating. Otherwise, they'd pay them like they were the best and brightest. Not $30,000 a year, not $40,000 a year if you're in a good state. So most teachers start at. Can make more delivering newspapers. can make almost as much money working at cashier checkout. They want morons educating future morons. And that's what we have, a nation of morons, the idiocracy. You guys ever seen that film, Idiocracy? What's the first IQ they put up on the screen? If you've seen that film, they start putting up people's IQs. First one they put up is 84, which is low functioning. Probably about normal for the United States of America. It probably really is calculated to 84. Been trying to figure out how people are so dumb in this nation for so long. I mean, how could you fall for 9/11? Perfect demolition of 2 towers, blamed on a man in a cave. I mean, that's story's worse than Santa Claus. It's literally worse than Santa Claus. And think about that. That's also a part of our cultural programming, to tell your kids about Santa Claus. Santa Claus. You guys want to learn something about Santa Claus? I got to go back to my lesson from 5 years ago. When I first learned Gematria, I learned about the alphabetic order and the rules of numerology, and then I learned about this method where you multiply times 6, right? The times 6 method. So A is 6, B is 12, C is 18, and I noticed right away that Santa Claus was 666. And then my next thought was, hold on. What's the Easter Bunny? What's the Easter Bunny? Because that story doesn't make any sense to me either. And I saw the Easter Bunny was 144. And then I recognized right away that in Revelation, there's the number 144 reference. There's the number 666. So it took me a long time to figure out the mathematical relationship. But again, when you add the first 144 decimal points of pi, it sums to 666, right? The first 144 decimal points of pi are 666. And what is the other thing I can't think of right now? I think it's this. I think it's those 144,000 tribes. Here, I'll show you what I'm thinking of. 144,000 tribes from Revelation. If you divide this number by 666, you get 216.216, 216, 216, 216. You see that? 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Isn't that nice? So there's these relationships. But teaching your kids about Santa Claus is, lying to your kids and teaching them to believe a stupid story, which is pretty much what we're taught in a million different ways, to believe stupid stories and not question them. And, if you don't teach your kids about Santa Claus, you're a bad parent. Just like if you don't question stupid stories, if you do question stupid stories, you're a bad person in our society. Like, trust me, everybody told me I was a bad person for questioning 9/11. People wanted to fight me, dismiss me, call me crazy, all the stereotypes. The truth is, most people in this world are certifiably crazy. Just think about it. What do they do with their lives? I mean, most people live vicariously. They live for entertainment. They live through screens. They eat like shit. They don't take care of themselves. They don't seek truth. They just believe what they're told. All of these things are crazy behaviors. A book's given to them and said, believe in this or you'll burn in the hellfire. I mean, to believe in that is crazy. It's cowardice. Got a bunch of afraid, frightened people who just believe what they're told. That's crazy. God gave you a brain to think. So, anyway. Still got about to sell 4,000 more copies of this book here. Thank you for everyone who picked it up. It hasn't really been selling much since the United States of Amnesia set in. It was selling the week that Bush died. Since that week's over now, everybody, I think, forgot that HW died. And that's the other thing. People only really seem to care about this work when people die, which I also find funny. It's like, is that really all you guys care about when people die and celebrity deaths? You don't care about how your government's a puppet show every single day. You don't care about the false flags every single day. You don't care about the rigged sports. You guys just care about when people die. What's with that? No? Here, I'll show you guys something real quick about my most viewed videos. Just to make the point here. So a lot of you don't know how to search a video channel either. Let me teach you. You go to the channel, Then once the channel loads up, you click where it says videos. And then once you click videos, you got these options. You can go sort by, date added newest, date added oldest. You can see the first video I uploaded, or you can go most popular. And look at the most popular videos. The death of HW, nearly at 500,000 views. The death of John McCain, the death of Mac Miller, the death of Kim Porter, you know, the death of Robin Bush. People seem to care. I realize a lot of people are active who care about hip-hop related stuff. This Melania Trump T.I. stripper thing got a lot of views. That bucked the trend. Death of Burt Reynolds. Death of Aretha Franklin. This video is connected to the death of Kim Porter. Death of this couple. You know. But I mean, you start to see the views have really fallen off here. Nobody wanted to see how the whole Kavanaugh process was a big puppet show. So. Again, death sells too. That's why they kill these celebrities. And I imagine the fixation with death is that people are afraid of death. So it's this big, you know, fear is like the biggest component of most people's brain, the things they fear. And I hear all the fear out of so many people all the time. Zach, I'd buy your book, but it's only online, and I don't buy things online because I'm afraid. It's like, why are you afraid to buy things online? Probably more safe buying things online than any place in the world today, honestly. All the credit card fraud I've ever had is from going to hotels, shopping at a store maybe I shouldn't have shopped at. I've never had a single credit card problem buying anything online, honestly. You guys' fears are, I guess, based in ignorance, honestly. Fraud can happen anywhere, but the internet's relatively safe in terms of shopping. And then a lot of people say, oh, I'd make a video, but I don't want to put my head out there, you know, then they might come after me. Well, that's just fear. If all of you started speaking up, they couldn't come after everybody. So don't let your fear rule you, you know. Don't let the headlines guide you. Don't fall for the QAnonymous psyop. Don't think Donald Trump is the answer to the New World Order. He's another New World Order agent. You know, if he wasn't, he wouldn't have ever been on TV. You know. So we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. I said enough. Oh yeah, though. If you want to start participating in the live streams that go on Monday through Friday, they're at 1 p.m. Pacific. That's 4 Eastern. Do the math on your time zone. You got to be a $1 a month member on Patreon. $1 a month gets you access to all of the live streams on Patreon. And I said, if 10,000 people join at $1 a month, I'll make it so that all of my tiers only cost $1. And then you can get everything. You can get every book I release, every document I release, every sports pick I release, every live stream, every Gematria School episode, everything. You can get it all for $1 if 10,000 people join at the $1 mark. And I don't know why you guys can't do that. You know, why can't you do that? You don't got $1 a month? And like I said, when I get 10,000, I will hire the first employee. I'll have a paid employee, and I'm going to make the base salary $40,000 a year for the first employee. And from there, we're going to build it into something much bigger. Hopefully, we have an army of people employed at $40,000. Eventually, we'll become our own news network. That's the goal. You know, we'll do the on-the-ground reporting. We'll get higher production broadcast, but it has to start somewhere. If I had one more helper, it would mean the world to me, because then I could go through all my messages and emails. Every day I get sent all this important stuff that I miss because I don't have the time to look at all of it. I can only do so much as one person. So we get 10,000 people here at $1 a month. I'm just going to drop all the tier prices to $1. And then again, you'll get everything for $1 because we'll have enough revenue coming in to afford to do it. So right now, we're using this revenue. All of this money is being saved up, by the way, you guys. I'm not spending this money on anything. I'm just saving it each month to fulfill the mission. You know, it takes money to do things in this world. Did it for 5 years for free. I get tired of the comments every time saying, Zach, you shouldn't be doing this for money. Did you guys ever see anybody in your life work 5 years, 7 days a week straight for free? And it wasn't just for free. I had to pay for all of it. You know, Who was paying the bills? Me, off my own savings. Who's paying for the internet connection? All the stuff that it takes to do this, the computer, the energy, the electricity, et cetera, et cetera. I think a lot of you really do live in your mom's basement and you've never paid a bill in your life. No, it's not a good look. Who's paying your bills? Obviously, you're on the internet. You have a phone. Somebody's paying your bills. You must have some sort of revenue stream. So, anyway, we'll leave it there. The link to sign up for Patreon, to get the book, it's in the description of every video. Till next time, Truth Seeker.